Just look at them. They must be crackers. A double-decker bus could be right on top of them and they'd never even see it. Hey! You must be out of your tiny minds. When you cross the road, always use the green cross code. Keep your wits about you and keep looking and listening. Great. See you, girls. Take it from me. Be smart. Be safe.
Tonight's watch party for Trading Places. As always, I'm Andrew. I'm back, and I'm joined by Dom. Welcome, Dom.
Hello. Good for you to be back. I'm happy with you being back. Why do I have producer in my name just sitting there?
Should we fix that if we can? It's from a previous one, wasn't it? Let's have a look if I can fix it.
It's accurate, but doesn't need to be there.
Let's remove that. There we go. If we do that, can I remove that? Hang on.
Does everyone know the green cross code?
I can't remove. Oh, you need to do it, Dom. You need to right-click your name and click edit.
Need to get it out myself. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I can't edit yours. Anyway, let's do a roll call and we'll get into this. So, I've got Immortal Rimus, Sharon, Alex Peacock, Brainwire, who apparently has never seen this film before. That's fantastic. Calbot, Edward the Black Prince, welcome. I can see James Hellier here. And there we go. Yeah. So, Calbot as well. Did I say Calbot earlier? Yes, I did. Sorry, guys, I'm full of cold, but I'm here. Anyway, so tonight's sync point is approximately 9 seconds into the film, where we see the classic Paramount, a Gulf and Western Company logo. Approximately 9 seconds in. Dom, so tell me how much you've seen this film.
Good God, I remember like a handful of scenes. This is one of those films that I always saw on TV and I always heard of, but I can't picture the story in my head, so I don't think I've seen it in its entirety. I've seen snippets here, there, and everywhere, and I know of it, of course, because it's one of those legendary comedy movies of So I'm very excited.
Yeah, I can see that certain people, some people are conflicted about the director, and there's controversy about the director has come up in the chat. It's not something we're going to touch on. He may be a controversial figure, but this is a great, great film, to be fair. As
a fan of H.P. Lovecraft, I'm familiar with the death of the author. I enact it on a daily basis. I think that good work deserves its own credit, regardless of who was involved in its creation. Humanity can suck, but art can be great.
Exactly. Immortal Rimus is here as well, saying the green cross code is what I explained to a Japanese policeman in Japan when I crossed the roads without waiting for the traffic lights, despite there not being any Tokyo traffic. Oh, welcome, Johnny Devick. Okay. So, for those of you just joining again, just say about 9 seconds in, the sync point is where we see the Paramount, a Gulf and Western Company logo. So, if everyone's just about ready, let's go back to here and let's do the countdown. So, here we go. Okay. I'm quite looking forward to you seeing this for the first time properly, Dom. This is a great fun film.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's Philly, what a lovely place.
Yay! That cracked Liberty Bell, look at that.
Yeah.
Never been to Philadelphia, actually. I probably should go at some point.
Is the cream cheese actually from Philadelphia?
I think originally. Maybe it is. I'd probably say it's probably done in Wisconsin now, the cheese capital of America. But
Alex is saying, can I place the classical piece? Isn't it Swing by Elmer Bernstein? Or is it actually
I'm a complete Philistine who doesn't know much classical pieces. I'm like, oh, it's that thing that's on my kid's teddy bear that sings classical music to him.
There's just an endearing griminess to the 80s.
Oh, yeah, especially
it's Mozart. Thank you, James.
Cities like this, like Philadelphia, like New York. East Coast, wintry time. There's a grime to it that just
Yeah.
it's weirdly like warming and wholesome, even though it's cold,
Yeah.
wet, and miserable. Maybe it's because I'm
Exactly.
from a cold, wet, miserable place. It reminds me of home.
Well, Ms. Swift is saying they're joining us, just getting a snack. Well, welcome, Ms. Swift. Great to have you with us. Edward Blackfink says it's Mozart, Le Nozze di Figaro.
Yeah, it
Sharon
was on the
says,
tip
for
of
me,
my
it's
tongue.
dark and grimy no matter the decade. Yeah, endearing grimness.
Frank Oz, James Belushi.
Yes.
It's a stacked cast. Absolutely stacked.
Oh, it has. It's got a great cast. And one of my favourite actors, who he just steals everything he's in, is Denholm Elliott.
Oh, yeah.
Legendary from the Indiana Jones films. But this is, I know that's tragic, but this is quite a nice comparison in here. We're seeing both sides of the coin. We're seeing, a butler in a very exclusive private residence. We're seeing, rundown neighbourhoods.
Basketball hoops made out of...
Seeing homeless people in doorways. I know America's dirty in parts, Edward. Yeah, if it was truly all-star, we'd see Wilford Brimley.
True.
I like the fact that Merry Christmas sign is almost sarcastic in such a place of despair as the job office.
It's quaint, honestly, to see an American take on the class war. You see it every now and then, but it's
Yes.
rarely... It's a rare thing, more as opposed to England, where class-based warfare is consistently going on all the time, every time. Most things, like what's the upstairs downstairs thing called again? I can't remember. But most British media has a take on classism because that's how the English discriminate against one another. You're rich, I'm poor, let's fight. And seeing it taken to this extreme is
Definitely.
so American. Let's not have just absurd wealth. Let's
This
have...
pomposity.
Oh, yeah. Let's have absurd wealth dialed up to 11-teen.
It's like he's got all those books behind him, and he's probably not read any except that small set that don't match.
He has a barbershop in his house.
Yes. And his butler shaves him.
If you could, would you have a fresh Grecian shave like this every morn?
No, because I've had a shave like this before, and it doesn't go well with my skin.
Oh, no.
Due to just sensitivity of my skin, I get a lot of pimples
Yeah.
and stuff after that kind of shave. Unfortunately. I tried to not be a slave to Gillette, and I tried all double-edged razors and straight razors and whatever, and the only thing, due to my sensitive skin, that doesn't cause me to come out in rashes and ingrown hairs and whatever, I've found are the Gillette Fusion Labs blades, which are great.
Non-sponsored.
They are... No, not sponsored at all. I wish they were. But they are horrendously expensive.
So you have bougie skin.
Yes, unfortunately. Exactly, Sean. Can you imagine being so rich you don't even shave yourself?
Yeah, speaking of bougie,
Your own car door.
being on this side of a character, like how often is he this very bougie...
Oh no, Dan Aykroyd quite often will play a slob.
Yeah, a slob or the everyman.
Yes.
It's weird seeing him with good posture.
James, I did try a double-edged safety razor and a good soap. I tried Prorazzo shaving soap, and I had a Mercure 34 with feather blades from Japan, and still got ingrown hair. No matter what I try, if I don't use anything like the Gillette, I get ingrown hairs.
Is Dan Aykroyd left-handed?
He might be.
It's rare that I see someone with a watch on their right wrist. As a caggy hander, I pick up on these things. And yet I don't know if... Oh, Danny boy is left-handed.
Exactly, even the Japanese couldn't shave me.
Oh, a lit fireplace in your
Yes.
office.
Oh, yes.
The lamp should be green. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. I want a vacation here.
Oh, yeah. Basically, they live in Wayne Manor.
Wayne Manor's jealous of this place. The butlers have butlers. What is this?
Oh, do you know if I was a multi-millionaire or a billionaire, I think I would struggle to have staff. We've actually been on vacation to Mexico before, where we stayed. We had a private butler assigned to our room, and I found it awkward, incredibly awkward. We'd paid quite a lot to have a nice room, but it was like the hot tub was refilled every time you wanted to use it fresh, and it was like the butler came. I said I didn't know where the tap was to turn on the water to fill it, and I said to the butler, "Can you show me how to turn the hot tub on?" "No, no, sir, I will fill it for you." And it was
Yeah,
like,
I'd find that uncomfortable as well.
yeah,
That's because we're from the streets, Andrew. We're people of the earth, the soil. I say, talking to you through the interweb on an expensive machine with an expensive camera in a lap of luxury.
yeah.
Speaking of which, how was your trip? You slummed it in first class to Disney.
Oh, that was
Disney
excellent.
World.
I told you about the. I already told you about my flight. Yeah, the first class flight was incredible, absolutely incredible. With the fact we had a hostess assigned to about 5 seats, so and called me remember my first name. Oh, hello, Andrew. Little card on the table. Welcome to the flight.
Ah, yes, we're people of the streets. We're people of the earth.
People in the streets. People in the streets. However, 4 hours waiting on the runway of MCO Airport in Orlando to get off the plane, followed by being trafficked across the airport in a bus with armed security, like in Con Air, followed by another 2.5 hours ultimately to get out to take a train back to the other terminal to collect my hire car. Yeah, that wasn't a good start to the vacation. But apart from that, yeah, it was fine. It's a little bit cold, but fine otherwise.
I do kind of want to be driven around in a. No, that's a lie. I want to drive. I don't like being driven around.
Basically, Alex, there was a problem at MCO Airport where the one of the sewage pipes in the customs clearance area apparently was leaking, so they had to close it. So what happened was, because they had to close it, there were a number of planes stacked up on the runway waiting to be bussed over to the other terminal where there was an open customs clearance area.
The irony of that. Liberty and justice for all, as they are literally wheeling someone who's pretending to be paraplegic away. Eddie Murphy has no legs. Oh no. Eddie Murphy in his prime Murphy time.
Oh, this is, yeah. Oh, I hate clubs like this. Have you ever been to one before?
No.
I have once. I have once, and I hated it.
I'd
It
hate
was
it too.
basically full of pretentious people who think they're wonderful.
Yeah, talking about stocks and
Oh,
that's
just
about it.
basically, it's also just ridiculing those they deem beneath them.
Are they having milk delivered?
Probably eggnog if it's Christmas.
Oh yeah, I suppose so. What is it, a buck? Why is it that rich people are stingy as well? That's how I stay rich, I suppose.
Yeah,
As they say in the UK, tighter than a duck's arse.
correct. And half and half. They're billionaires, and it's off. Basically, half off one and half off the other.
Scumbags. Oh, they're playing backgammon?
I think they're playing backgammon.
I actually have no idea how to play backgammon. I know how to play chess, but not backgammon.
I don't know if they play backgammon in Vegas. You probably can
No.
at some dodgy casino.
Competitive backgammon.
Yeah.
I'll bet your pinky finger I can beat you in the gammons. Nah, I'd be playing dominoes.
Baccarat is what the high
Oh,
roller
yeah.
play, isn't it?
According to James Bond.
Yeah. See again the theme of the tightness of the billionaires. Yeah. Wiltrams is saying my rich kid college roommate was very ignorant of the world and assumed everybody went to fancy prep schools.
Well, that's the thing. Everyone is subject to their environment growing up. So I'm sitting here joking about how we're kids of the streets and we don't know what a wealthy life is like. But we're both fairly middle class folk that have a
Yes.
very relatively luxurious lifestyle.
Well, compared to many,
comparative-
yes. Yes.
Yeah. And it's impossible for us to know what it's like to have nothing to go on, to struggle between do I have food today or tomorrow? Like we've never had to worry about that. I'm assuming that you've never had to worry about that.
No, I've never. No, I've been very fortunate in that respect.
And I think unless you interact on a regular basis with folks that don't have what we have, it's impossible to empathize because we can't comprehend. We only know of our own experiences, and getting out in the world can really demoralize you, but also humble you. It's educating yourself is something that everyone should do.
Yeah, exactly. And there we go. And that's the bit of the film we're just seeing between the conversation of them two there. They're literally talking about he's read a magazine article which causes the foundation of an idea to basically be a monster, a human experiment.
I do not tip folks $5 on. Well, it depends on how much I've paid.
Yes, I was very good when I was in the States. Every time I was in these restaurants things, and the thing came asking for a tip on the machine, I went 15% usually.
Yeah, that's the standard I go for.
It came 10, 15, or 20%, and I thought,
Yeah.
15, call it down the middle.
Right in the middle, yeah.
Yeah. And then occasionally in a couple of the restaurants, because I couldn't be bothered doing the mental arithmetic, when the bill was like $80, I'd add 20 onto it because then it just made it easier in my head because I couldn't be bothered getting my calculator out. I'm very lazy like that sometimes when I'm on vacation.
My watch has a tip calculator, so I can just click.
Oh, Dom.
What's this? But people on the streets. People on the streets.
Yes. Yeah. No, James, I did not hit 15% report credit card fraud. Oh, I'll tell you where I did go, Dom, on this trip that I've never been to. It opened recently. Have you got a cowboy chicken there?
No.
Oh, it is delicious. I don't know I'll see if there is any in Vegas. It's a chain.
Cowboy chicken.
There's 20 of them, none in Vegas.
It's about right. We have a chicken monopoly over here.
Oh, no, there is. Oh, it's chicken now. No, there's no cowboy chicken in Vegas, unfortunately. It's very nice. It's a wood-fired rotisserie chicken restaurant. Ooh. It's quick service, very nice, good choice of extras. And they've got giant ovens with all wood-fired ovens with chicken on rotisserie, and they do shredded brisket. That is excellent wood-fired brisket as well. But the best thing they do, their French fries were like crack cocaine. They were incredible. They were super crispy on the outside, but actually had potato on the inside, and it was like really creamy mashed potato. They were the best
Ooh.
fries. And here we go. We're seeing the two main characters being introduced to each other.
It's horrible, isn't it? You stumble into someone and they accuse you of being a thief.
Oh, definitely. It's also, we're seeing the whole class thing here, that it was a genuine mistake, and he wasn't
He was
planning on.
being nice
Yeah, he
about
wasn't.
it.
He was actually
I'm
just
sorry,
saying.
sir.
Yeah, he was saying, sorry, you
It's a
dropped
meat
this. Here you
cute,
go.
says Calbot. Absolutely.
Ah, there we go. Sharon's identified Cowboy Chicken has locations in the southern states, LA, Texas, and Florida. Only a matter of time till they open in Vegas, though. Everything
I'm sure.
comes to Vegas.
We're getting our
We're
third
getting definitely a
or
class
fourth in and
thing. We're
out.
getting a class thing here, though, aren't we? That this is the preconceived idea that I'm a better person than you because I've got more money, and you're evidently scum because you're beneath me.
The horrible thing about my new home in Vegas is that technically being homeless is seemingly a crime,
Yeah,
and the police attend to homeless people just existing, and that's just disgusting. Why do you have to hassle someone who has nothing?
yeah. Because it's easier. They feel
Like,
they've earned their place in society by having more money. To them,
even though most of
money.
them, if not all of them, were born
Oh
into
yeah,
it. They're
oh yeah.
daddy's
But
money.
to them, money is the most important thing, and having more of it makes you a better person. They're judging their worth by their wealth, not just their financial worth. They feel their status and place in society is all down to their financial status ultimately.
It is disgusting to see the racial barrier so
Oh yeah.
thick in the 80s. Like, you'd think it's whittled down a little bit, but I mean, it's still present in today. It's racism is
Yeah.
silly and
Yeah.
shouldn't exist, but somehow
No.
does.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Here we go. And this is how these people, they are awful, awful people.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing with their they're playing with his life just for a bet, and he's a like a loyal, a super loyal employee of theirs.
It's like Cruel Intentions, but less sexy.
Yes. The problem
My
is you
armies.
feel that Ralph, oh crep Suzette, you feel that Ralph Bellamy is usually a kind grandfather type.
Yeah, and watching it be so vile here is like, no.
Look at that, they're
Can you
eating
imagine
lobster
getting dolled up in a tux for dinner?
and he's got his butler making a fresh crepe Suzette at the table.
Oh
I
man,
don't.
I want
I don't
crepes
like
set now.
Do you like it? Yeah. I don't like it because I don't like Grand Marnier because it's too bitter. It tastes like eating orange floor cleaner.
Oh no, I'm fine with it. I like the bitterness. Mainly because, like, diabetic, sugary stuff,
Yes.
being too sweet, it overwhelms me. Literally, my
Yeah.
leg falls off.
Yeah.
So I
Maybe I wasn't
need.
thinking that. Maybe I wasn't thinking that well when I sent you those bars of chocolate.
Oh no, it's great. I love them. They're fun size. It's fine.
Fun size, 4 full-size bars of chocolate, one including caramel in the middle. Yes.
Oh, they're my favourites. No! Oh wow, the
Oh
bells.
God.
he
Yeah,
has
that's an old-fashioned system for when you'd call for a butler from a specific room in the
from a
house.
specific room. Yeah, I'm in the
Yeah.
fourth wing over here.
Yeah, James is saying this relaunched Bellamy and Amici's careers. Neither have been offered a good role for years. Yeah, I mean, I'll be fair. Amici did Cocoon a few years after this, which is obviously, yeah, James. They did it. The Duke brothers had a further appearance in Coming to America, which kind of is bad. Their appearance in that, James, because it. Yeah, well, people haven't seen the film, James, so let's not refer to that for now. I wouldn't be comfortable in that living room. I can't imagine being comfortable in a room like that.
Have you ever walked around the old English estates?
Oh yeah, the National Trust homes, yes.
Do you feel uncomfortable in them as well?
Yes. I don't find anything like that comfortable because I can't imagine. I believe he did get nominated for an Oscar in Cocoon. Yeah,
With
exactly, Sharon.
this,
This room's made for looking and not touching. It's got
absolutely.
artwork on the wall that's there because it's expensive, not because they like it. But they like it because it's expensive. Oops. No. No, Edward. I don't think you're going to ask for that. You can see the butler doesn't particularly care for him.
Yeah.
This is classic Eddie Murphy we're seeing here.
Looks kind of Woody Harrelson adjacent to the right there. I love that there's the street urchin types who are completely overwhelmed and
Yeah.
oh wow, he's talking absolute
Oh,
truth,
it
and then there's
is.
the
It is.
two on the
Just
edge that are
realised. That's Giancarlo Esposito next to him.
oh, is it?
Stood next to the railing. It is.
Oh, it is.
Oh, that's fantastic.
He was inspired to run a chicken empire shortly after this. Oh, I I miss this side of Eddie Murphy. I really do. When
Yeah.
he started doing the more family-friendly movies, I fell out of love with him. It
Yeah.
wasn't until he played
Exactly.
Rudy Ray Moore that I thought, oh man, he's back. I still haven't seen the latest uh, Beverly Hills Cop. I don't know if it's any
Oh, I
good.
enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot.
The effortlessness in which they just lift him.
Lifted him. Yeah. That's a big police station with a cell on the 9th floor. Yeah, the audience is saying they love Axel F. Beverly Hills Cop 4. Yeah, I really like that. Yeah, that's a good call. If they cast Henry Cavill as the next Bond, they should cast Giancarlo Esposito as the next Bond villain opposite him.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, he'd be a very good Bond villain.
Did they film all of this in Philly? I can't imagine.
I think they probably did. Oh, look at that classic Rolls Royce of the year. It's even got a mounting place for vases for flowers inside it.
Because why not?
Yeah. Oh,
It sucks
the
that would
way
probably lure me in.
yeah, but it's the way he talks to him as if he's having to almost speak in broken English to him.
Yeah, it's gross. It's
Here,
just
all
simply
you want,
disgusting.
come in, warm. It's like, well, he's a human being and he speaks perfectly good American English.
I just love the total lack of trust that he has against them. Like, what the hell is your plan? Takes them all. Attaboy.
Yeah.
Culturally disadvantaged people. Like, that is the grossest way you can politely say that, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell, I wouldn't mind that now. An additional 80k a year? Sign me up. Oof, oof. Okay, that's
Yeah.
oof.
We don't talk like that anymore.
The 80s, hey?
Yeah, it's a film of its era.
Nice Rolls Royce, though. It's true, the graboid's gonna come for me. The thing about things like whiskey as a form of wealth, the scotch that I brought with me from England,
Yeah.
which cost me like £30,
Yes.
I kid you not, I saw the exact bottle, brand, and year in a liquor store here. £30 bottle for $500.
It's all
Like,
relative though, Dom. What's
it is.
you
That's what's
could
crazy.
take I know, but I find alcohol and things like that very interestingly weirdly priced.
Yeah. I love how he raises his fists. Get out of here. Yeah, it's worth $500. It's insane. Okay, I want that bathtub. That is a bathtub and a half.
You can tell he's posh. He's got a bidet.
Yeah.
There's a bidet next to the toilet. Very low toilet though.
I I don't like jacuzzi like bubbles in the bath. So
No,
I like a
no.
nice calm water bath. I don't need it disrupted with bubbles. I like bubble baths, but not
Oh, here we go. This
jacuzzi
line
bath.
is just casual racism.
Jeez. Yeah, it's the casual racism. It
Yeah.
hurts. And
But it's also the look, it's like he's looking down on him under a microscope.
yeah, like he's observing someone in a zoo. It's This is the kind of stuff that was not parodied but examined in the 60s in the Twilight
Yeah.
Zone. And people just don't learn. It takes so long for cultures to shift.
Yeah, exactly, Miss Swift. Even the butler was like, too far.
He's just taking everything he can.
Yep.
I do love that, like nowadays, suits like this, they are advertising, hey, we can have a suit that's essentially just loungewear, but it looks like a suit. That's where technology should be. Everyone should be wearing suits that look great but feel cozy as hell. Comfort is more important than style. Why is it that $600 shoes pinch your feet and hurt like a motherfucker?
Yeah.
Whereas like Skechers down the road, the slip-ons that are like $90 are the coziest things ever.
Oh God, without a doubt. But Sharon's saying that TV's pretty low down, and it is. I don't quite know how you do that, but
That's when you get on the floor, crisscross applesauce, and play your Sega Mega Drive.
yeah. Exactly, James, I'd agree with that. There's modern pushback on this film that people don't get that the laugh is on the racists. Ultimately, the racists are proven to be bad people.
Dumb for velour tracksuits. Yes, everyone should wear velour tracksuits.
Yeah, Calbot, in the 80s, everyone had to look down at the TVs. You couldn't mount them any higher because they weighed so much. Oh, the heritage. Oh, look at that. The line with liberty and justice for all. And that's the club that Billy Ray got arrested in. Well, that wasn't exactly an example of liberty and justice. Liberty and justice for those who can afford it.
Absolutely. You mentioned that there's a lot of modern pushback. James Hellier said it. I recently went to a theatrical screening of Blazing Saddles, and there were some younger folks, younger than me even, in the audience with us, and they left after about, I don't know, the 9th time the N-word was said aloud.
Yeah.
And they heard my friends and I just cackling with laughter. I think that a lot of...
I don't think I've just noticed, sorry Dom, just interrupt for a second. I don't know if you noticed, but in this club, every member is white and every servant is black.
Yes. I think that's definitely on purpose and part of the joke.
Yeah.
Not the joke, but the lens that this film is looking at wealth through. And I kind of touched on it earlier, that in English media, it's purely about wealth and social status, but through an American lens, very frequently, it's through a racial lens, because of the slave trade, which was far more prevalent in America than in England. It's a cultural touchstone that you can't help but avoid. And Blazing Saddles is one of those movies that does look at that cultural gap as well. And to completely ignore movies of the past that do look at this social issue, and to ignore it instead of looking at it from the perspective of then and now and truly analyzing it, I think it's a disservice. Modern pushback to this film, I'm not sure they understand where the
I think James, that's right. I think Edward's got a good point there. People today quite often are more stupid and don't understand the actual commentary. And the commentary this is making, that you will see is these. I'm not saying these guys are racist, because I don't feel, well, some of them evidently are, but it's also showing the class divide, that their lives ultimately are poorer for living in their bubble.
Immortal Remus is 100% correct. Blazing Saddles needed to happen to hold a mirror up to society, just like this film. And it's... The films are still being made that do that, of course. There's so many movies that come out, modern movies that come out. And when you hear the ongoing culture war that brings up certain things, it is a conversation that keeps needing to be had. It's a conversation that keeps needing to happen. And I'm glad that art can hold a mirror up to society and say, do you really see how silly a lot of this is? Like here, the pomposity and the absurdity of all of this.
Exactly, James has got it. If you aren't supposed to be laughing along with the Dukes,
No,
if you're
you're
laughing
supposed to be
along with the
laughing
Dukes,
at
you're
them.
watching the film wrong. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%. To get a bit sillier and not be so you know, highbrow about film discussions. What is the most pompous name you can think of? Like Mortimer and Randolph,
Well, that's obviously why they were given names like very old-fashioned
Bartholomew. Yeah, it's
names.
not gonna be like Keith.
Keith.
Or like Derek. But yeah,
Actually,
what
actually,
what
what
is the
isn't very
most?
good is my sister's name is Karen, and she's married to a Keith.
Oh no.
Yes.
In the chat as well, what do you think the most upper class name you could think of is? Wadsworth. That's a good one, Mad Matt. Winthorpe. Oh. Reginald. Yes,
Oh,
Edward. That's another good one.
oh, the pomposity of trying to threaten a police officer. Yeah,
Percival,
don't
Alex Peacock, Rufus, old Johnny Devitt, yes.
think you need to be searching your file pack for someone who gives a shit what you're saying, mate.
Oh, he's even oh well, he's handcuffed, but I was going to say
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
even standing very pompous.
Oh, definitely.
All right, I think Miss Swift takes the cake with Thursby Billingham the Third, Earl or Duke of something or other.
Diners Club card, right?
Sebastian
Has anyone ever
Gainsborough.
actually had a Diners Club card? I don't even know anyone that accepts them.
Rothschild is a pretty pompous name. Yes, you're right, Sharon, it is. Yeah, I don't know. If you've had a oh. You get given a cool, crisp million smackaroos. What's the first thing you do, Andrew? Apart from go to Disney World again.
I don't know, for a million.
Dress up in a fancy suit and go to the local bar and just
Well,
swag
exactly.
around.
Exactly. But this is, you can see this is going to Billy Ray's head initially.
Oh
He's
yeah.
got money, he's got money and status he's never really had. But again, this is going to be quite interesting. He's thinking, does the money make him a better money and status make him a better person? He thinks it is.
He definitely does. Save and pay down debt. Yeah,
Well,
absolutely, Alex. That's the
actually, if you had $1 million in the current economy, I might get a supersized
Big Mac.
variety meal at McDonald's. Yeah.
Moi. That's an awesome jacket, actually. I want that bomber jacket that he had.
Multrums is saying, though, to be fair, when you've been picked on your whole life and you finally have some power, it's immature about it, but you still be thinking of getting payback when those stepped on you. That's true. It's true. But the
100%.
trick is to rise above it and realise ultimately it doesn't matter.
Yes, Butler, take it.
Play some generic 80s dance music.
Absolutely. The woman's just passed out on the couch.
Yeah. Exactly, James. Eddie Murphy's early films are very much about class and race. In 48 Hours, he's their worst nightmare.
Yeah.
A black guy with a badge. Even in Beverly Hills Cop, Axel is repeatedly a victim of racism, not least by the police. Yeah, Marcus never had this much fun with Indy or Winthorpe. Well, that is interesting. We're actually seeing him here that he actually, compared to earlier, he values this property.
Yeah, he's because
And
it's his now.
Winthorpe, yeah, but Winthorpe was like, oh, throw it in the bin. Didn't care.
Yeah. And that's the thing. When you have very little, you
Yeah,
respect what you have. And when you're
correct.
given a lot more, you respect it because you realize that it takes an awful lot to get it. Like I was talking about shoes earlier on, like $600 shoes that pinch your feet. Some people would think of it like garbage and throw it away. Others deeply respect it. They look at the red inline of the shoes. Or what are they called? Is it Louis Vuitton that has the red on the bottom of the shoes? I don't know
Jimmy Choo,
who
I
does it.
believe.
And they see it as like something that you should really respect and hold up in a kind of prestige way. Whereas people
Welcome
have had it
Amy
all their
Wilder
life.
thing. Looks like I rented the rated R version. Yeah, there's certainly a lot of breasts in parts of this film.
Oh no.
I just don't know. Was disco like this? I don't know.
Oh, I love that. Mad Matt. He's becoming like the cat from Red Dwarf. This is
Yeah.
mine. This is mine.
It's fortunate how everyone's basically going in order of the coats.
Yeah. Edward the Black Prince. I see no issue here. Yeah, absolutely none. None whatsoever.
James is saying my school dances weren't like this. No, neither were mine.
Your school dances didn't have PCP and breasts
No, not very
exposed?
often. Not very often. Again, though, he's actually been quite respectful of everything.
Yeah, but he's shouting it.
But there we go. We're seeing that he's starting to come to the realization that having everything also attracts people from the wrong perspective. And look,
Yeah.
immediately he thanks the butler. Good night, thank you, he says to him, rather than saying to him, we don't need you anymore.
Oh, the way he looked up at the stairs after him.
Yeah, but you can see he's earning his respect.
Yeah. Well, because he
Treats him like a
is
human.
yeah, and he's
He
aware
doesn't
that
treat him like an appliance.
like everyone else does in
Yeah.
his scenario.
He's not this thing that just walks around and you say to do things. He's a person.
Oh, he's got the shit kicked out of him. Jamie Lee recently came out and said that Vegas is nothing but like oversexed clown people, and I got very sad. Why don't you like us, Jamie? That's a terrifying situation to be in for that lass. Absolutely terrifying.
Right, I was just looking up a quote. There's a quote from the film Driving Miss Daisy that summarises their relationship with the butler versus sort of Eddie Murphy's way of dealing with him. And it's where the driver, Hoke, in Driving Miss Daisy says, "I ain't just a neck you look at while you're going wherever you want to go."
Yeah,
And that's the difference. It's about it being a person,
an
not...
individual. Yeah.
Yeah, a person, individual, not just a utility. Yeah, exactly, James. Driving Miss Daisy has a great Aykroyd performance. Yeah, Sharon saying Vegas is like every other big city, a lot except with a lot more Elvis impersonators.
It is. Step an inch outside of the strip, and you see that it's not even that big of a city. We're small. I am going to use that quote in my day-to-day life. As God is my witness, I am not an angel dust dealer.
Yeah, Dom, I wouldn't use that like when you're enrolling your son in school, especially living in Vegas.
Go to
Okay, well,
my
I'll tick that down
kids'
on the thing.
school
What do you
day.
deal in, Mr. Wallace?
I am first parent teacher day or something like bring your dad to work, bring your dad to
Yeah.
school. I want it on the record. I am not a PCP dealer. I won't be asked to come back. That's for sure.
I might have a look at that as well, Alex. I've heard that's very, very good. I'm not ashamed to say Driving Miss Daisy is one of my all-time favourite films. And I think the next time Dan Aykroyd and Jamie Lee Curtis were reunited on the screen was in a cinematic abomination that's also very festive.
Which film is that?
The chat will answer this.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
Alex got it. Alex has got it.
Christmas with the Bloody Cranks.
Christmas with the Cranks. Yeah, Christmas with the Cranks. Tim Allen, Curtis and Aykroyd. Yeah, it's...
Oof. I've got the Billy... Oh, Smeg, I didn't realise... I need to get my head chopped again. With a rebel yell.
Thing is, why has Coleman got any loyalty to him?
Why would he? Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time ago, Alex. Aykroyd's last good role in Evolution.
Oh, I
He
love
usually just... He
Evolution.
usually... I love Evolution, but he usually just turns up in a film as an authority figure to shout some dialogue and disappear these days.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
Exactly, Sharon. Coleman would do what he got paid to do. Yeah, and in Mortimer's, he will have really enjoyed this on some level.
Wouldn't you? Getting back at the
Yeah.
higher-ups?
Oh, definitely.
Make it 1,000, yes. Cool 1,000. Jamie Lee was in an episode of Buck Rogers? Which episode was that? I can't remember. To be fair, I haven't seen Buck Rogers in a while. It wasn't heroin, it was angel dust, PCP.
That's right, that's what we do.
The one with the desert and the Oh, okay.
There we go. Look, even the bank are just pompous.
Of course.
Last time I ever saw a bank like this, well, not in the UK, we don't have banks like that. Our banks here now are very commercial, they're like fast food outlets now. They're really just...
Pretty much.
Yeah. In fact, I've never even been to my bank. I opened my account online, and everything's online. I've never even been to my bank.
God, yeah, going to the bank used to be such a big thing, wasn't it? Like,
oh yeah.
It is actually funny. You can tell a lot about a person from their hands.
Oh, definitely.
How calloused they are, and even if they're left-handed, if they have a little nibbly thing on their finger.
Amy's saying, do actors from 70s, 80s, etc. make money off repeat shows or films they were in? They can live off the money, or is it one-time paycheck? Depends on the contract.
Depends on the contract.
Yeah.
For example, if you have a contract that, say, says you get money on the back end of a movie, usually you don't get much up front, so you rely on the film doing well financially. There was a very famous case recently with Scarlett Johansson and Disney in regards to the not Scarlet Witch, the Black Widow movie, and that went directly to streaming instead of having a cinematic release, and there was a huge legal issue around that because her contract said that she got money on the back end.
Yeah. I think that was... Yeah,
I don't have sinister hands.
It did get resolved in the end, but
it did, yeah.
That was
out
down
of court,
to,
I think.
Yeah, but that was down to the CEO at the time, Bob Chapek. Which is why you don't put an accountant in charge of a creative firm.
No.
And that was something I noticed actually with all my trips to Disney. The difference in the Disney parks and experiences between I don't know if you know, there'll be a film about it someday. They famously fired Bob Chapek, Bob Iger was the CEO for a number of years, and things were very successful under him. Bob Chapek was his successor. He came in, and he was an accountant, a penny pincher, and he screwed things down to the bone as much as he could. And they famously fired him overnight while he was at an Elton John conference and brought back the old CEO to start fixing things. One of the things,
Wasn't he here in Vegas as well? I think Elton John was playing in Vegas at the time.
That was the one.
Yeah.
And an example of the penny pinching that was literally overturned overnight when the old CEO came back was Bob Chapek brought in $25 a night to park at the hotels, which is ridiculous. You're paying a lot for a hotel, and the car parks are no other use than to park at the hotel. So it was just screwing for $25 a night. So yeah, immediately that changed. Loads of bits got changed back. Exactly, Alex, is why bean counters should never be in charge of big decisions. And there was actually a very interesting thing because Bob Iger, who was the current CEO, remained on the board, even though he wasn't the CEO at the time when Bob Chapek was. And during the pandemic, Bob Iger decided was fighting, and he convinced the board against Bob Chapek. Basically, with the pandemic, with the shutdown, there was going to be government aid, wasn't there, for the wages of the staff to help them be paid. Bob Chapek wanted to not wait for that and put all the staff in a situation so that they wouldn't receive the government aid, so the company would save some money while they were shut down. Bob Iger convinced the board and fought the otherwise to keep things going until the government aid was in place, so all the staff wouldn't have no money.
Which is admirable.
Yeah, decent thing to do.
Yeah, the decent human thing to do.
Not the accountant of, we'll save some money by screwing 50,000 staff.
Very frequently, the bean counters, the accountants get... they tend to be the bad guy in stories when it comes to creativity. And yes, they are. They make sure that the creativity is reined in. Another Disney example of where bean counters needed a little more rein, I think, is one of my favorite films, John Carter. The director of that film had way too much creative liberty, and I think he needed things to be reined in a smidge. I think Jamie Lee has a great dress on there. Sorry, I got very distracted. I think that creativity and finances should work in unison. They do need each other, because without accountants, you can't have these wonderfully creative movies. Someone earlier mentioned Galaxy Quest. Who was it? It was Immortal Rimus saying that Galaxy Quest may have been one of the first modern age examples of bean counters having say over what happened in a film. I don't know how factual that is, but you can feel it. Like, you can see that the creative side desperately wanted certain characters to do certain things, and they were reined in. Like, no, you got to keep it PG. You can't have Tony Shalhoub making weed jokes the entire way through the film. But I still think Galaxy Quest is a phenomenal movie, one of the perfect movies out there.
And exactly, you do need accountants, but you need to find the right balance. And unfortunately, putting the accountant as the head honcho in a company who screws everything over. Unfortunately, the guy's name was Bob Chapek, but everyone calls him Bob Cheapek. And what's even more unfortunate is, I don't know if you're aware, in Florida, in Magic Kingdom, Disney are building a new land there called Villains Land.
Oh no, is Bob going to be the main?
Well, that's the thing. They're saying it's going to have like Cruella de Vil and Maleficent, and it's themed all around the villains and their dark world. And all the fans are saying, and Bob Chapek will be in there.
Yep.
Yeah. But then again, if you want to film where the accountants took over and all hell broke loose, look at Highlander 2.
Oh God, yeah. Getting quiet for no reason in particular.
But no, look at what she was saying to him. She has very, very little financially, yet she's prepared to help him. He's got to work for it, but she will give him a helping hand.
Well, that's the classic tale of those that have very little helping one another, and those that have a lot helping no one but themselves. And it is kind of a nasty way of looking at life, but it's unfortunately true. Often, to succeed, you need to be hideously selfish. There aren't entrepreneurs that are hyper wealthy and incredibly kind. They just rarely go hand in hand. I did just discover that John Bon Jovi apparently has opened or has frequently opened soup kitchens
Yeah.
that just feed people. Like,
Yes.
so John Bon Jovi's my new hero. Like,
John Bon Jovi's
just,
a good person. There are
he
some
is,
good
yeah.
people in the world, yeah. But look at the going back to the film here. Look at the opulence. Okay. Who are some of these people they admire?
I saw Reagan.
Yeah, but have you noticed that the two running the company are literally sat on thrones?
Yeah, of pork bellies and cattle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these are commodities that they're talking about trading. But if you look, the two of them are literally sat in throne-like seats.
They can't be comfortable.
Ike Eisenhower, yeah, was one.
Yeah. What do I see? Galaxy Quest is up there with The Matrix, The Mummy, Long Kiss Goodnight, and Guyver Dark Hero. All great
All great
movies.
films.
A statue of Julius Caesar in the club.
Yeah.
Ironic, really, because Caesar was a leader of the people, wasn't he? I might be getting my Roman history
What, a man
totally
of the people?
confused.
Oh, I
Yeah,
think he was.
didn't he like introduce
Oh god, look, there's
like
actually about to say something on first class. When we were flying with first class to go up to the private lounge, the private elevator had a sofa in it.
the elevator?
The private elevator that a member of
needed a
staff had to
card to
activate
open.
for us had a sofa in it. Oh, I've got a photo here, actually.
I despise everything about this tennis club. I hate them all.
Oh, yes.
Standing, says Edward the Black Prince, is for the plebs.
Yep. But the best bit was this sofa in the for the private lounge was only going, and the lift was for one floor. It wasn't even a long journey. It was a one floor journey in the lift. I hate these men. They are awful people, aren't they? They all love they love
I don't know
themselves so
anything
much.
about them, but I hate them all. It's the sweaters.
Men in their 20s and 30s should not be smoking pipes.
No. Dan looks like the guy who's about to tell his friend not to go to school tomorrow. I need to get a corncob pipe so I can just walk around and pretend to be pompous all the time.
Well, that's not a corncob pipe. That's a... Oh, it's just wrong. I worked with a guy who had a Sherlock Holmes vape pipe once.
Oh, that's pompous. I love it. As a kid, I always wanted one that blew bubbles. I think Blank Check had something similar.
But you can also see here, this is showing that none of these people
actually give a shit.
Actually liked him.
No.
Even his fiancée. He's claiming that he was...
jacket.
Yeah, he's claiming he was framed here. And not a single person is prepared to believe him or help him out.
Yeah.
Not even his fiancée.
I mean, from childhood, we're told not to judge a book by its cover, and we always do. It's kind of disgusting that humanity does that. I mean, it's a defense mechanism, of course. You see a ne'er-do-well in the dark alley in the streets, you don't trust them immediately, but it is kind of gross that like you can so quickly turn on a friend just because of perception.
Yes. That's B.B. King, isn't it?
Edward the Black
I
Prince,
believe.
yes, I did acknowledge blank check. Why would you need to know time simultaneously in all of those places? Unless you're a stockbroker, of course.
Yeah. Also, it's because it's the best. It's not that he needs it like that, it's because it's the best. He has to have the best.
Of course, of course.
Yeah. Oh, it's Bo Diddley, was it? Sorry, it was Bo Diddley, not B.B. King.
Ooh, a white server. That's, oh my god, look at that visual image.
Yeah.
Inside,
Oh,
everyone's living it up.
listen to the joke. It's terrible.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, that's me. I'm the pretty blonde in the blue dress going, you joke shit.
Yeah. It may be an old joke, but
Look at that escargot.
oh, but you can also see there, it was obviously emphasised that everyone's hanging on the tip to make more money. No matter their wealth and status, they're all still money grabbing, awful people in there.
Oh, absolutely. They'll do anything for a buck. It even
Yeah,
overrides their like casual racism. They
yeah,
just say, "Oh wait, this might get me money." Now we
yeah.
pay
It might get me
attention.
money.
So at the end of the
This is
day,
not
it's
a
all
yeah,
about money.
yeah.
Immortal Rimus is correct. This story sounds like something Charles Dickens would have written. Yeah.
It very much is. It's very much almost a transplanted story.
Yeah. Okay, Miss Swift, if as a child that was the first time you heard that joke, how frequently did you retell it? Oh no. I'll see you next Wednesday.
But also, it's quite interesting. She's more than you think in that, yes, she's a lady of the night. However, you can see she's into more, she's not necessarily into all the kind of stuff you might perceive. It's about breaking stereotypes. She's got a brain on her.
That's a story as old as bloody time, isn't it? Like even like biblical tales, like Mary Magdalene being a lady of the evening, but also good head on her shoulders and a very loyal
Yeah.
consort to Jesus. Like, the prostitute with a heart of gold character is
Yeah.
one that has lived in literature and
Oh, yeah.
cinema.
Even Oliver Twist.
Exactly, yeah. It's an old trope, but it's one that we never get tired of seeing because it's the kind of character that we love to see ascend above what most people casually perceive as a bad situation. If you're a prostitute, you're selling yourself for money, and a lot of society looks at it as a very bad thing. I am one of the few. don't want to big myself up at all. I look at sex workers as people who have assets that I physically couldn't possibly do.
Yes.
My wife has joked many times that I should sell feet pics on OnlyFans and stuff like that.
I've joked about that as well. Do you know what? At times I've considered it. I thought to myself, if I can spend 10 minutes a week walking through plates of Jello and pouring cold gravy on my feet, and someone's willing to pay me $100 a month for them pictures,
This
who's
reminds
the
me of
fool?
Toby Carvery now.
Yeah, but who's the fool?
Exactly, yeah. Like, who's being abused? It's not you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that absolutely reminds me of an incident I had at a Toby Carvery where I saw someone pick up a potato with their hand, sniff it, and put it back in to a communal potato pool.
Yeah.
It's like, I am not eating here.
Do you know what, though, Dom? Since the pandemic now, when you think about it, I'm off buffets. I haven't eaten at a buffet in a long time.
Me neither.
Yeah. And this is a complete side note. Do you know, from an environmental perspective, not that you necessarily care about this, how wasteful a buffet is? Like go to a Chinese buffet. What do you think the average amount of food that's thrown away is?
I'd say it's upwards of 70%.
It's about 52%.
Okay, it's less than I thought. That's good. That's good to know. But
Yeah,
still,
that's still terrible for waste,
yeah, it is.
isn't it?
It's insane to waste over half of the product.
Yes. Yeah, the amount of food waste is awful, Alex.
But yeah, I've
So
always
one of
respected
the things I quite
sex
enjoy
workers.
at Disney, actually, we do go to a restaurant there for breakfast, and the way Disney frame it is not all you can eat, all you care to enjoy, rather than
Oh, that's a
it
nice
doesn't
way of
emphasize.
looking at it.
Yeah, rather than gorging yourself. But what they do is they just keep bringing out bits you ask for. So, like, you have your breakfast. I'd like some more bacon. I'd like some more sausage, and they'll bring out another portion of it.
That's good.
It stops people doing the giant mounded plates where they
Yeah.
view it as a competition.
Sharon, Vegas has about 3 or 4 buffets now. They used to have a lot more. COVID did obliterate the buffet business, obviously, as it probably should have. But there are a few buffets still in Caesar's Palace. What the hell's his name? The Greek
Yeah, I know
god
the
of
one you mean.
consumption.
But the problem is they're
Bacchus?
synonymous.
Bacchus, yeah.
Yeah, the problem is though, Dom, it's synonymous with the excess, isn't it?
It is. It is. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Martimus. Pizza Hut over here and moving. I don't think I know where there is a Pizza Hut restaurant anymore near me in the UK. Within about 50-mile radius, every Pizza Hut now near me is basically a delivery only place.
I love the super obvious switcheroo.
Yeah. Exactly, Mad Matt. All you can eat put Red Lobster out of business just about. Yes.
Did, more or less. All you can eat stuff is very lost on me, though, because I eat very little.
Yes.
All you can eat sushi, great deal, completely lost on me. And the thing about all you can eat sushi, they do make to order. So you say,
Yes.
I will have another one of these rolls. And then they make you the roll. They don't, at least the sushi places I go to here, they don't tend to waste much, if any. And if they do waste it, they charge you.
Yes.
You get charged if you don't finish your plate.
Well, exactly.
He's got nice boots.
Sharon. It was the all-you-can-eat shrimp that basically put Red Lobster out of business for $20.
Yeah, it's funny what you do to someone when you take everything away from them.
Yeah, exactly.
People have killed for less.
All the diabetic attacks you can have, Dom, according to James.
Oh, the diabetic attacks you could have.
Yeah.
What sushi places, or just like all you can eat lobster? I don't think
Well,
lobster's very high in sugar content or carbohydrates.
yeah, Dom, you wouldn't have enjoyed first class on the plane because one of the things they brought me was a cream tea with a pot of salted caramel sauce to pour over my scones.
Jesus, ludicrous.
And the captain will cut your foot off, Dom, as we before we land.
Yeah, as a service.
Yes.
Now you got a touch of the beaties here in your foot. Let me just deal with that, sir. What is the drunkest Santa you've seen in any movie?
I think you're out to see him.
You haven't seen the movie Elves, have you? The horror movie from the 80s, it's
I've
only
seen bits of
available on
it.
VHS.
I've seen bits of it, but wait, Dom, wait till you see.
Psychopath? Miracle on 34th Street is this the drunkest Santa you've seen, Miss Swift.
Yep, exactly, James. The bet was for $1. They ruined his life for $1.
There's the racism.
Yes.
Yay! When did this film come out? Was it the early 80s?
82.
82-ish.
83. Sorry.
It's funny because that's a dynamic shift we started to see towards the latter half of the 80s and the early 90s. How wealth is a corrupting effect. The classic go-to in the 80s, of course, is They Live. Consumerism in general is the root of all evil. Yes, Immortal Rimmer, so I'm talking about Elves with Grizzly Adams.
Here you go, though, Dom. This is possibly the drunkest Santa I've ever seen in a film.
It's so grimy as well.
Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. I'm just going to say for the audience and who have seen this before, and Dom hasn't yet, the word salmon.
No, Sharon, you don't want to watch the Grizzly Adams Elves movie with weird Nazi references. It's a bad movie. It's fun if you like bad movies. Not like The Room bad, but like I don't know, Night of the Demons 2 bad. Oh. 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 Mm-mm. No! Don't eat it! Oh. Old fish is like
Old fish in dirty beard.
Troll 2 bad. Mad Matt, yeah. Troll 2 bad is what the Elves with Grizzly Adams feels like. Low budget, some people really not giving a damn, Grizzly Adams included. I think he did it for a bottle of scotch. Oh, just casual. casual getting pissed on by a dog.
Yeah. Old John to extend this Christmas, I will rewatch Home Alone and Christmas Vacation.
Absolutely.
I'm actually seeing Home Alone at the cinema on a week on Monday. I think it's on like a screening at the local cinema. I hope it's better performance than we saw Home Alone 2. We had a special guest during our performance. Well, two special guests during our performance of Home Alone 2 we watched last Christmas.
Oh?
Yes, two of the local police force came in and removed two youths who were basically shouting and screaming through the film, who refused to leave when staff asked them to leave. They were arrested and
I
carried
believe
out.
the correct pronunciation is Utes.
Utes, yes, two Utes.
Two Utes.
Yes. They thought it
Oh.
hilarious. They thought it hilarious throughout the film to randomly scream at points during the film.
I feel terrible. I've apparently sold so many people on the movie Elves. I feel bad. It's not a good film. It's just funny. It's funny how bad it is. Wait till you see the. It's got rapey vibes as well, though. It's grim. It's grim. Oh, her nails are incredible.
They are.
Little strawberry earrings as well. No, this is getting depressing.
Do you know what I'm happy about, though, in this scene with the Doctor? This is one of the more realistic Doctor scenes, in that he's just giving advice saying he just needs to get it out of his system, he's maybe vomited it up, etc. He doesn't reach in his bag and go, I've just given him a shot of this, and take these tablets, 3 a day, because a doctor doesn't actually carry a complete pharmacy in his little black bag.
No. A stethoscope, maybe a blood pressure cuff, maybe a thermometer.
Maybe one of the little hammers for the knees, and that's about it, sort of thing.
Well, a clever doctor uses their thermometer as the little hammer for their knees.
But he certainly doesn't have a TARDIS-like quantity of every medicine required for everything in his bag.
You've been bitten by a snake. I have the exact anti-venom in my satchel here.
Oh, there's going to be something a little controversial in a bit, but I'll let it go, because it's designed to be ludicrous.
Why are you surprised? You saw how people treat you when you're on the other side of it. Isn't it weird how we value gold over oranges when oranges can feed and nourish and fight scurvy, and gold can do none of those things?
I love the fact that he's going to shoot them wearing his hunting vest.
What else would you shoot them in? Another fireplace, really? Says Amorthorimus. You can't have too many fireplaces. Actually, it's entertaining. We were talking about the Old English estates earlier. If you go to any like castle ruin in the UK, and there's millions of them, there's a weird amount of fireplaces all over the shop, just because you didn't have central heating, right? You had to warm each individual room.
That's correct.
So you'd have a fireplace like every 10 feet. Gaudy oil paintings in the background. Eggnog.
Two seconds, I shall return in just a moment.
James, why do you have gold radiation shielding from Apollos 11 and 13? Just for fun? I'm guessing that was like the one F-bomb they had in the movie.
There we're going back.
Welcome back.
Okay. Sorry, something in my office was beeping constantly, and I thought I better turn it off before it interrupts the stream. Right.
Oh no, what was going to explode?
No.
You probably have
Bloody
nuclear
beeping
codes.
again. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Let me sort this out.
Oh my god. Are you telling me he's here for a split second? And that was Jim Belushi's... He got like a fairly top billing in this. The internet gremlins were in Andrew's house. Absolutely. Okay, Belushi does show up more later. Good. Who here has seen the other costume train movie with Jamie Lee Curtis? Wait, no. Damn, I'm thinking of another. There's that movie, but there's another movie on a train. It's a horror film. I think it's called Horror Express. With Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing.
No Pazuzu in my house, James. No, it's I have arthritis in my foot from an injury I had when I was younger, and it's an electric stimulating thing I use in my foot under my desk occasionally to help with the muscles and the arthritis in my foot. It had gone flat, and the charger was in another room in the house, and he just decided to panic because it had gone flat to beep incessantly.
I was thinking of Terror Train when I said Jamie Lee Curtis and costumes and a train. But my real heart goes to... I think it's called Horror Express. I can never remember the bloody name of the movie. But it's a great horror film with a fantastically funky theme song.
I don't think this is too... Basically, you accept this isn't offensive because they're being stereotypes and they are being deliberately ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Oh, yes, just wait. Yeah.
Super Train, the TV show. No.
Yes, super train. Nuclear-powered train with a disco. Do you recognise him? From the Airplane films, he's the assistant.
Oh, he is. Horror Express is the thing on the train with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. It is exactly, and it's an amazing film, and more people need to see it. Oh my god!
Oh, it keeps going.
This is a joke you tell your mates in the pub.
Yes.
The drunk Irish preacher.
Oh, it keeps going. Hang on.
Ah, the Amtrak. Such a magical place.
So, apparently, the reason that she was from Sweden and they had to do the Swedish joke was Jamie Lee Curtis couldn't do the Austrian accent.
I'm trying to decipher what an Austrian accent might be in difference to...
I think it's nearer to a German accent than a Swedish
It is, it's
accent.
closer to a German accent, but...
Yes.
Her Swedish accent isn't exactly perfect.
None of the accents are perfect in this scene.
No, I think that's the point, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, don't worry. There's icing. You haven't got the icing on the cake yet.
My go-to to Austrian is probably going to be more of an Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Think Arnold.
Arnold.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
You're about to get the icing on the cake, Dom. I want to go to an 80s party like this.
On a train with Jamie Lee Curtis. Bad things tend to happen. Like Terror Train has shown us. A gorilla, an Irish priest, and Inga from Sweden all get on a train. It sounds like a bar joke. Sharon,
Here you go, Dom.
Oh my god, no!
Dan, no!
Would it be more? Who am I kidding? Of course, it's way worse in blackface. But oh god, oh my god, the 80s sure was a decade.
But you don't mind in this respect, I think, because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah. Now.
This is so ludicrous. It ceases. I don't find it personally offensive because it's so ludicrous.
Because it's absurd.
Yes.
Like, what are the stereotypes can we squeeze into this cabin?
Yes.
He's got me fooled.
Yeah, that disguise was one too far for him.
I need to add that to my lexicon. I'll rip out your eyes and piss in your brain.
Immortals and Rimus is saying, I don't know what would have happened if me being white and my brother, who is brown-skinned, went dressed as each other for Halloween the year he pitched it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not going to be interesting.
So it's a Raggedy Ann there.
He's got a Keystone Cops outfit, that one guy.
Get him, Jim.
Well, it is. It's Jim Belushi, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought he was here for half a scene only. I've been corrected. How'd you check your watch underneath? Just Donkey Kong punch the guy.
Yes.
It's my favourite cinematic attack, that the Donkey Kong just clonk on the noggin. The off switch.
Oh. Yeah, but this gets even worse in a way. His fate.
Oh no.
Yeah, Sharon, exactly. Oh no is right.
If I could go back in time and party with anyone, Jim Belushi's going to be top on like high on my list for sure. I'd love to go to a party with Jim. Oh no. There we go.
Yeah.
Poor dude.
Implied
Just saw
animal rape.
old Johnny Depp's comparing this to Paddington 2. It also ended on a train. Jim or John?
It
Why
was
not
Jim
both?
Belushi, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
Jim.
James Belushi. I think he was
Yes.
referred to in the credits. So Jim.
Yes.
Over here. Recently started watching HBO's The Penguin, and Colin
Okay.
Farrell's accent is tremendous. And he can't help but keep doing some kind of grim New York gangster voice, like just casually to everything I interact with. I wouldn't have been able to keep up with either Belushi's. No, yeah. Me neither. Yeah, the Penguin is really good. Like, really freaking good. I didn't expect it to be as good as it is. And Sophia Falcone. My goodness. James. Apparently being raped by gorilla is no laughing matter. Oh. I completely missed her name. Her name's Ophelia? Great
It is.
name.
He said that earlier.
I fully understand Immortal Remus. I'm fairly Batmaned out as well. The thing about it is, the Penguin doesn't feel like a Batman show until like little bits are sprinkled in. It just feels kind of like Breaking Bad, as weird as it sounds. Like you're just watching a bad person make bad decisions and be casually evil, but you still root for him. It's nice. Oh look, Florida World.
So I was just checking something
Delicacies,
for.
fruit baskets.
I was just checking something for later. Right. Okay. Is Beak still on the train? Okay. So they've gone to New York.
Ah.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. It existed. We can't say it didn't exist. It was a trading centre.
Yes.
Yeah, James, the reason Adam West makes Batman better is because he dances. Batman doesn't dance anymore. Old Johnny Devick, Freaky Friday 2 has been filmed and is being released. The bad to see, isn't it?
Yep.
Exactly, the World Trade Center. And this is actually very interesting. So, what we're about to see as part of in 2020, as part of the Wall Street Transparency and Accountability Act, which was to regulate financial markets, a rule was included which barred anyone from using secret inside information to corner markets, similar to what the Duke brothers tried to do in the movie. Since the movie inspired this rule, it has since become known as the Eddie Murphy rule.
Nice. I do loathe the very notion of stock traders, though.
Yes. I mean, this is all done on computers now, though, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah, of course. The last bastion of pure capitalism? I've got a friend who's a commodity trader.
Mm-hmm.
He's ludicrously wealthy. I loathe him with every ounce of my being, but I love the man as well because he's a kind and just individual. But damn it, I'm jealous of his wealth. I don't understand commodity trading. I won't try to understand commodity trading.
Well,
It makes no sense to me. Again, because I think that there's so much more value in things you can do stuff with, like, I don't know, food, water. It's a commodity, so
but anything people want can be traded, I guess.
like whiskey that is £35 a bottle in
Yep.
one country and skyrockets to
Yeah, but
500
that's
in
what
another.
commodity trading. That's what trading is, isn't it? It's about buying for cheaper and selling for more.
Yep.
And the only thing that drives the value of an item up is demand.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, John Derek. Wood was crazy expensive during the pandemic.
I love how I'm
Cars were
basically
as well.
shitting all over capitalism, even though I'm a producer in an independent film company. Buy our product. Screw capitalism. If it was up to me, everything would be free. Yeah, I do. I love and hate my friends Randy and Mortimer Duke.
There's actually a very good YouTube video that explains what they're doing here. It explains how they make how the two of them make all the money in this moment by having the insider info.
It's madness. Madness, I tell you. I do love the visual, though, of all these people in expensive suits, like the peak capitalist, strong-arm folks, reduced to carnal craziness.
Yeah.
Waving and shrieking.
If I can find it, and I'll put it in the chat for people to look at afterwards.
No, I would never advocate for piracy. Ever. Arg. Look at how violent it is. It's meant to be
Here you go, guys.
civilized, damn it.
This is for those of you who want to look afterwards. It's a video I found before, and it's a Wall Street trader actually explaining what they're doing and how it works.
This must have been a fairly complicated scene to film as well, though, just because of the sheer amount of extras.
everyone waits.
Oh, those Coke bottle glasses. Consumerism's insane.
Yep. Yeah, they should get pizza for their Bitcoin. That's right.
Carrying a guy out on his shoulders.
Yeah, that's about it, James. There'll be a good orange harvest, and the Dukes are stuck with frozen juice that they bought at a high price that nobody will want to buy at that price, so all their sales will make the Dukes a loss.
Mm-hmm. $29. It looks like a very cozy room, though. Unless the people smoke in there, it's probably going to stink.
Oh yeah, it probably stinks of sweat and tears.
Absolutely tears.
Yeah. And that's when $394 million was a lot of money.
Yeah. Everyone has it now. Costs that much for a Big Mac meal now.
That's right. When they filmed that scene, apparently Don Amici, he's quite a religious man, would only do the swearing scene once.
Hmm. Oh, wow. Face of love. Oh, I want to go there. Come on, take
Yes.
me there. I hate the beach, but take me there. Okay, that's my idea of a beach trip. Just laying back,
What, in a
giant
knitted jumper?
umbrella, knitted jumper, parrot randomly on a. There it goes. There's no way you can hear it from that distance.
No.
It would sound like.
Exactly, especially over the wind on the boat and the waves. Yeah, it's cool not to see the Coleman and so, and it's a nice fairy tale ending for the film.
It is a complete fairy tale ending, yeah. It's the
That's what
exact
you
ending
want.
of Mad Max 3.
There we go, everybody, and that was Trading Places. Dom, I'll take the comments from the chat in a moment. Dom, what do you think of that film?
I like the film, yeah. I think it's got so many great comedic moments. It is a mirror to society and says, look how silly a lot of the concepts are in terms of how we treat other human beings.
Yeah.
And it's good that the bad people get their comeuppance or they transform, right? They get shown a different perspective and
Yeah.
realize that there's reason to like other people and not just judge them based on what their financial situation is.
Exactly. I mean, some of the comments from the chat we've got are Sharon saying a funny movie with a moral twist to it. Miss Swift still a great, though, with a few rough moments.
Yeah.
Say, old Johnny Devick. I remember seeing this years back. It's not a bad movie, maybe a little light on the sci-fi and horror for my liking. Okay. It's Mortimer says it's a classic Victorian Dickens Christmas tale on modern or 1980s New York. Yeah. Okay, so I'll wait for the chats to come up. Next week's film, James. You've been waiting for this. We've been talking about this for a long time. We are watching Robbie Coltrane and Eric Idle in Nuns on the Run. But let's go through the comments and I'll tell you about where you can actually find Nuns on the Run, I've discovered. So, let's have a look. More Calbot. I still love this movie. You can see why it wouldn't play well today. Mad Max, sorry. Paramount Plus is going to send me South Park just like last time. Jabroni, welcome. Great social commentary, but man, the humour is really hit and miss, and the third act is pretty meh. There you go. Running Nuns, yes. Yeah. James is saying it's magical, The Prince and the Pauper, as outrageous comedy. No flying nuns in Nuns on the Run. Okay, so I've actually found Nuns on the Run on the internet for you. If you can't find it in America, where you might find it a bit more difficult, if you go to archive.org, the web archive, someone has very kindly uploaded a copy of the film there. So if you search for Nuns on the Run, you will find it. But it is a fun British farce that if you've not seen before, we will have a great time. You might be on Amazon in America, but if anyone is struggling to find it, I did find a copy that I didn't upload. I put out there, I didn't upload, but if you were to go looking for it, I did see there's a copy on archive.org. So we'll have a lot of fun with that. But anyway, for the next 7 days, as always, please be kind to each other, stay safe, look after each other, put positivity into the world. Remember that, financial wealth of people isn't their real wealth, as seen in this film. But until then, everyone, good night and stay safe. See you in 7 days. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.